Hi collective and chosen ones, welcome to my channel. It's been a while since I've done a relationship and it's partly my fault, but the only main reason why I haven't been doing that is because in the past all my readings have been focused on the energy and it's working spiritually with yourself and the relationship between yourself first, which is the most important part. And hence, a lot of the readings is focusing on self-love. And number one relationship is with yourself. So therefore, I haven't been doing one that's focusing on relationship with others and especially your close personal love relationships with one person. So what I'm going to do is focus on that today and take what resonates with you and leave the rest. These readings are always open to interpretation. And if you find that you do not resonate with it, please do not take this personally and just move on to what resonates with you. So I'm going to first start off with reading some of these oracle cards. I'll point it out first and then I'll read it out and give you the information. Okay, somebody wished that I could share my good news with you. So a person in your life you may not be in contact with wishes that they can share some news with you. I sense that this is somebody that you haven't been in touch with for a while, or because both of you have different goals and things that you have to work on. The collective has now moved on to looking at everything in your past that does not work out. So therefore, a lot of us have not been focusing on the one relationship with a partner. And if you have, you are now working on either improving it or leave the relationship because it's not working. So this first card might be talking about somebody that you have not been in touch with or having a break with. I look for you everywhere. So this person misses you very much and everything reminds them of you. I wish I had treated you better. So in the past, some of you or most of you had moved on because simply you weren't treated in the way that you should be. And a lot of you have not built any boundaries. So your lesson now and the reason for the separation might be because you're working on building boundaries between who is for you and who's not for you. And because of that, this person's now feeling really bad. And they're now saying that you came closer than anyone in their lives. They're not very happy with anyone else, but they can't bring themselves at the moment to tell you this. Sometimes I stay awake thinking about you. So if you are thinking about that person, the chances are that person's got that energy in you. And they're thinking a lot about how they could make things work. But what they're failing to do is now at the moment, is that they failed to tell you the truth. So there's still a little bit of deception, but not in the way that I mean deception by hiding bad things from you or negative things from you, but in a way that they don't voice out their feelings. It's because they're not really in a position to. They still got a lot of work to do, and so do you. And that's the reason why I have not been focusing on relationships, because there's still a little bit of work for the collective for us to move to the next level. And I've mentioned that in so many readings in the past that we are coming at the crossroad, the fork in the road, on moving on for good That means that's calling out any relationships and past relationships that are not good for you, like toxic relationships, addictive behaviors, and obsession. So all that comes into, that has to be removed. And it takes a lot of work. And I'm not saying it's very easy. It's certainly not for the faint heart, but it's all worth it, because the collective is focusing on the spiritual path, and for us to continue to the next level, moving to the 5D, a lot of things in the 3D has to be eliminated, like lower vibration. So there's a lot of spying going on and watching and inspecting. So I suspect that this is kind of like social media, internet, trying to find out information about you, seeing if there's anything on the internet that is to do with you. And the collective has now kind of, in a way, moved away from a lot of posting of fresh information about yourself, because we're all working on ourselves. So a lot of information, even if it's still on social media, is old news. You're not the same person anymore, but this person is still looking back to see if there's anything that they can find that is to do with you. Maybe pictures. If they can't find any pictures on the internet, they go back through the phone on the pictures that you send them. And all they find is not really anything concrete. There's a lot of confusion and illusion still going on between the both of you. You're very confused about this person, and you're very much still kind of like an illusion stage where it's back and forth, thinking, is there any chances with this person? Why are they so much in my head? And it's up to you now to either talk to this person to see if there's anything that can be salvaged. If not, then it's time to move on and start fresh. Spirit does not allow you to just continue with the past if you need to move on. There's a fulfillment and wish card. So this might be talking about anybody that's new in your life. And this is a very nice card that I can see. I sense that this is a new person that you might be meeting. And so that's why there's a lot of old information and the past that's really still mulling on you. You're kind of not trusting the process that you could meet anyone new that is for you. So the next card is the freedom, leap, and opportunities. So you've got plenty of opportunities. It's just for you now to go out there and take an opportunity. And I'm not talking about going out there and just meet somebody at a bar or something like that. I'm talking about just going out there and can just meet new people, and you never know what it leads to. And there's a card of the fate. So the fate, detours, and divine intervention means that fate happens when the divine has intervened and caused a lot of detours. So the reason why you've had a lot of setbacks in terms of relationships in the past is because the past is not for you. So there's a lot of stalemate going on and things that don't work out. It's because Spirit is nudging at you and giving you hints that you need to open up a new pathway that's positive and getting rid of and eliminating all that's toxic and that's no good for you. So the divine has intervened making you get all the detours. So you may have had a lot of heartaches and things that didn't work out, and lots of stalemate between the last person. So there's a card of a breakthrough. So there will be a breakthrough. And for those that want to go back to the past, the breakthrough could be if you are able to resolve this with the person by talking to them, have a one-on-one conversation. And that would be the epiphany. Or if it's a breakthrough with somebody new, that means that you are finally working out what is best for you in terms of relationships. You are having a lot of limitations and fear, mainly because you've been hurt in the past, and these have to be worked through and facing those fears in order to go forward. There's a lot of nurturing and compassion going on, and this could be you showing compassion with the person in your past, or showing just an element of compassion and nurturing. So there's a card of toxicity, bound, and patterns. In order for you to work through your breakthrough, the past has to be resolved and worked through. You felt bound with lots of patterns repeating one after another. So these have to be sought through and eliminated. So there's a separation and longing. So right now, there's a separation between you and the person that is on your mind, and both of you are longing for each other. But you've got to ask yourself a question. Why is that the case? Is there somebody else? Because nobody's doing anything. Nobody's contacting each other. You don't know what's happening. There's a big question mark. You don't trust each other. And there is a need to really work out why that's the case. Is it because you're hurt? Okay, so there's a card of a storm, which is unexpected. Something has popped up. I'm not really sure what that really meant. Going to really just hone in on the energy and see if I can get any download. The storm could mean that both of you have gone through a lot. I sense that the past or the person that you're not talking to may have some problems in past issues with a karmic past, or a person they still haven't really resolved an issue with or separated from. The unexpected, I am not 100% sure. I'm sure I'm going to get some more information and clarification. So there's some cycles and changes that needs to take place, and a completion. There's a look that on this person's face. Now this card does not mean the gender is female. It can mean male as well. But there needs to be a lot of healing that needs to be done, and completion to a brand new cycle. There has been a lot of regret and repression. So as I said before, without even looking at this card, these are unspoken words, and both of you have regretted not talking to each other about this and expressing your feelings. The present is very abundant, and it's full of gratitude. This is the card that's talking about you in general, and it's not specific about just a relationship. Now you're working through your relationship with others as well, but most importantly, you are now trying to work through your own relationship with yourself by expressing a lot of self-love. and a lot of peace by working and focusing on within. And you're doing a great job. So the last part is to heal, is to work on your inner child. And that's the inner work that I'm talking about. Any childhood wounds need to be worked through in order for you to have a brand new relationship, be it the past person or a new one. Let's have a look at other information. Unfortunately, this person's still not available. And in some ways, you're not as well, because you are making also, I get the feeling that it's an excuse for you not to deal with this person. And you're still having some childhood wounds that you need to work through. I'm grateful for the spiritual lessons. So this is applicable to both of you, and especially you, because you are a person who's been focusing so much on your spiritual lessons. So you are very grateful for that. This person feels like they've messed up everything. Now, there's no point looking at these, but you can sense it as well. Just being near you is very intoxicating. Yes, it is very intoxicating, because both of you are reflecting on the things that you both need to work on. Childhood wounds and anything that's very toxic in the past. Childhood issues with your family, especially your parents. And you're both co-creating. So when both of you come together in this state, that becomes a trauma bonding. This person remembers every detail of that day that they met you, and they're really reminiscing on it. I get the energy that they're very depressed at the moment because their life is turned upside down. They're stuck with a person, and the reason for your separation is that you already knew that from the start, that this is going to happen, and that's the reason why you have not been in touch with that person. And for some of you, you've blocked them, and some of you have kind of unblocked them, and you blocked them again and several times. They're stuck in a painful experience, so that's confirmation of just what I said without even pulling this card. Somebody needs to approach this with fearlessness. I think the approach is that the fork in the road is that you need to make a decision on whether you need to stay with this person and work through it, or just leave it all together. There's loyalty. So whoever does not have that trust, and I gather it's both of you, because one's contemplating that there may be a chance that you both have met somebody else and you don't trust each other because there's not really a loyalty there. But I see that there is loyalty. There's no benefit in engaging. Somebody is saying this. You might be saying that there's no benefit in it. Make peace and love. So I'm not sure whether this is to do with a new person, but this is also, I get the sense that make peace and love is what this person really aspires to do and really longing to do. Just pull out some oracle sticks. Trigger or alert. There's quite a lot of things that they're still triggering. You're still triggering each other. This is not over. So this person doesn't feel that this is over. It's just a break, a long break. Some of you have been separated for more than a year. Some for a few months. You haven't been talking to each other. But you both know that it went off from the start as a faulty foundation. I really want to reach out to you. I can't believe what I did though. Expect communication. So one of you will have to contact each other just to even start a conversation and to see whether this is going anywhere. I didn't mean to hurt you. But at the same time, there needs to be a release of this person first. What I mean is that for those of you that there needs to be a release, and releasing this person can mean old energy. And then there may be a chance that you can come together. I'm not saying that you should or you shouldn't. From your perspective, they lost their chance, or they think they lost their chance. Indecision cost me to lose you, and this is what the person's saying. There's commitment issues. I gather this person is suffering from financial loss, because possibly it could be either a divorce or separation, which is to do with either a marriage or de facto that is costing them financially. I don't want you to move on. This person does not want you to move on. Someone keeps coming back into your life. So whether or not you are really in touch with this person, the energy is still very much with you. And it's like you can't get away from it constantly. It's driving you both mad. Someone's karmic debts are clocking up. So, collective, I don't have any qualms that we all have karmic debts, but this person's ones are clocking up because of their indecision and being not in the best way in terms of relationship. An F-boy and girl. So their past is creeping up on them. For you at one stage, you think it's a time waster. A lot of you are really much loving to work on yourself more than anything else. This relationship never got off the ground. So some of you have started a conversation and having a kind of connection at first, but it went off to kind of like in a pear shape where you're both really not in your best situation, and it was kind of very toxic. Yes, it was very lustful. So in your mind, you're saying to yourself, stop wasting your time with this person. I wish there's something that concrete that I can say to you. It's because, collective, a lot of you are now looking at, as I said, relationships based on your terms and based on your own self-love. And a lot of you are quite happy being independent. And if you still feel that you're bound to this person, all it means is that you do not have the worth or self-worth to think that you have happiness by yourself. And so a lot of work needs to be done, a lot of inner work to heal your childhood wounds so that you can free yourself as a person that it's nice to feel that it's nice to have a relationship, but you don't need one. That's the most liberating feeling that you can ever have. I have no qualms that this person misses you a lot. But it's one thing to miss you and just keep working on stalemate and not talking to each other. It's another thing to stop working on yourself and just keep thinking every day and obsessing about the person. A lot of you need to ask the divine in order to move with the flow, and instead of being in a stalemate, stuck on the one thing every day, day in, day out. A lot of change needs to happen to move on. And you've got a lot of intuition, collective and chosen ones. You sometimes shut it. You knew from day one who is right for you and who isn't. And I don't need to say this to you, but all I'm saying is that you need to keep reminding yourself who is for you and who's not. And if you ever feel upset and depressed about other person, well, then that person's not right for you, and you're not fulfilling yourself or doing yourself a favor to work on yourself. This person no longer has access to you, and they want to talk to you. They use, in the beginning, love bombing and gaslighting tactics and mind games, and that's what put you off. This person doesn't think much of themselves. They don't even want to talk about things, but in their head, there's a lot of back and forth and a lot of energy going on, and I can sense it already without even them saying anything. I hid my true self from you, so there's another confirmation. There's unfinished business. But you read them like a book. And that's what they're scared of, because without you even saying anything, they know that you know. So this could be a twin flame connection, and twin flames are designed for you to both meet to learn some lessons. There might be some big changes coming. I'm not sure whether it's with this person or changes with yourself. Their finances are affected. So that's confirmation of what I said. There's a bit of separation I can sense with this person and a third party, and their finances are affected. So if when you first met and after a while they have not been talking too much about themselves, I get the sense of feeling that they were trying to leave the third party, but things have got too difficult, and so they don't say anything. They just left you and kind of not ghosted you, but just stopped contacting you for a while, because they're hoping for you to keep the contact still going without saying too much. Now, I hope you find this very useful. I've been called to just stop this reading now, and I hope you find your answers, and if you haven't, please work meditatively by doing some shadow work and healing yourself, and sending you lots of love and blessings. Bye for now.